This is Mac OS Ken.
The EEC is spoiler to the world. Apple places high on the latest Fortune list, and silent movies that shouldn't be. It is Tuesday, the 3rd of August, 2021. I'm Ken Ray, and this is news from Mac OS Ken, brought to you by yours truly and sponsored by Upstart. Fair and fast personal loans. Learn more and check your rate at upstart.com/macOSKen. This show is also supported by people like you, patrons through Patreon. Find out more and add your support at patreon.com/macOSKen. Spoiler alert. New models of Mac and Apple Watch are on the way. Mac Rumor says the cat's out of the bag. Compliments of the Eurasian Economic Commission. That body, dealing with Russia and parts of Eastern Europe, requires devices that use encryption to be pre-registered. Unreleased products often show up in the EEC database months or weeks before an official Apple announcement. Taking a peek at the EEC database, Mac Rumor says there are listings for new Mac and Apple Watch models, all of which are previously unknown model identifiers that indicate they are upcoming devices. If you still like to be surprised, good news. All the EEC listings tell us is how many of something or some things are on the way. There are 6 new Apple Watch identifiers according to Mac Rumors and 2 new identifiers for the Mac. The new numbers for Mac and Apple Watch are on top of the 7 or so iPhone identifiers spotted earlier this year, according to the report. Rumor and speculation have new Apple Watches and iPhones turning up next month. Mac Rumor says the new MacBook Pro models could come either in September or at a separate event in October. You might think the Fortune 500 covered the top 500 companies in the world in terms of value. It covers neither. The Fortune 500 covers the top 500 companies in the U.S. in terms of revenue, which I guess is why we need a Fortune Global 500. That list came out Monday, and Apple is pretty high on it. 6th on the list in terms of revenue, according to a piece from Cult of Mac, though tops in terms of profit. With annual profits of $57.5 billion, the Cult says no other enterprise came particularly close, with the nearest rival earning about $8 billion less. Kind of makes one wonder why the list measures revenue. But revenue is what they do, which is why Walmart was number 1 with revenue of $524 billion to Apple's 6th place with revenue of $260 billion. In its write-up of Apple, Fortune said the pandemic created challenges and opportunities for Apple. CEO Tim Cook had to close stores and send home engineers, but with Apple customers worldwide working and learning from home, iPad and Macintosh computer sales skyrocketed to their highest levels ever. Of course, every silver lining has a cloud or two. Looking ahead from here, the financial site points to regulatory concerns and the Fortnite fight as issues that could upset the Apple cart. Speaking of lawsuits and upsetting Apple, it looks like Apple's attempt to give a legal action a miss has gone amiss. iDownload blog says OmniMedSci has been suing Apple since 2018 over alleged infringement of 4 patents, each tied to heart rate sensors in Apple Watch. OmniMedSci says it was actually meeting with Apple from 2014 through 2016 on a possible partnership. When that dissolved, Apple went ahead and put heart rate sensors in Apple Watch, violating OmniMedSci's patents, according to OmniMedSci. In trying to avoid the suit, Apple doesn't seem to argue that it didn't violate the patents, though I would imagine it will get to that. Rather, the Cupertino company's argument seems to have been that OmniMedSci can't sue because OmniMedSci doesn't own the patents in question. OmniMedSci is owned by a gentleman named Mohammed Islam. Mr. Islam is also a professor at the University of Michigan. According to iDownload blog, Apple says that the patents in question are actually owned by the university, not Islam, the grounds on which Apple tried to get the lawsuit nixed. According to a Reuters report, 2 of the 3 judges hearing the case disagreed Monday, ruling that Islam's employment at the university does not automatically assign those patents to the university. No word in either piece on next steps for the case, just that it can move forward. Folks in Australia can now slip their COVID-19 vaccine certification into their Apple Wallet. Mac Rumors says the Australian government is now supporting that through the Express Plus Medicare app on iOS. Citing a report from Tap Down Under, the piece says users who have received 2 doses of either the AstraZeneca or Pfizer vaccine now have access to the digital certificate through their Medicare online account or via the Medicare app, downloadable as a PDF, or by using the Add to Apple Wallet option. Interestingly, it sounds like certificates aren't even required at this point. Mac Rumor says the Australian digital certificate is official proof of COVID-19 vaccination should it become needed domestically or for travel, and is separate from any other immunizations the individual may have received. The certificate is similar to digital passes generated by some other government apps, such as the UK's NHS COVID Pass scheme, according to the report. More news in a moment, but first a word from Upstart. Fair and fast personal loans. Paying off debt can feel like an uphill battle. High interest rates plus minimum monthly payments keep people in an endless cycle of debt. Upstart can help people out. Whether it's paying off credit cards, consolidating high-interest debt, or funding personal expenses, over 500,000 people have used Upstart to get a simple, fixed monthly payment. Upstart looks at more than just your credit score, factoring in income and employment history. That lets them offer smarter rates with trusted partners. With a 5-minute online rate check, you can see your rate up front for loans between $1,000 to $50,000, and you can receive funds as fast as 1 business day after accepting your loan. Find out how Upstart can lower your monthly payments today when you go to upstart.com/macOSKen. UPSTART. That's upstart.com/macOSKen. Don't forget to use my URL to let them know I sent you. Loan amounts will be determined based on your credit, income, and certain other information provided in your loan application. Go to upstart.com/macOSKen. Talk of silent movies from Apple that aren't supposed to be silent. 9to5Mac says it's been hearing reports since the start of July of people not being able to hear movies bought or rented through the Apple TV app. It's not that the sound is bad, it's that there isn't any. Also, there seems to be no through line. According to the report, this appears to be happening across platforms where Apple offers the TV app, including on tvOS, smart TVs, and third-party streaming sticks like Roku. 9to5Mac began receiving reports of this at the beginning of July, but have been unable to find a pattern to diagnose the underlying cause. Obviously, it isn't happening to everyone that rents something from Apple. But it's happened to enough people enough times that the site's pretty sure something systemic is up. Or down. Some people are getting refunds, some people are not. Worth keeping an eye on it, since keeping an ear out might be pointless. Say goodbye to Apple buying Hello Sunshine. Despite reported interest from Apple, a piece from TechCrunch says Reese Witherspoon's production company has been sold to a brand new company. According to the piece, the yet unnamed new media firm is run by former Disney execs Kevin Mayer and Tom Staggs. The self-described next-generation media company announced the acquisition on Monday. Production on the Will Smith, Antoine Fuqua Apple TV Plus movie Emancipation has hit pause. Deadline says filming has been suspended following a small number of positive COVID cases among the hundreds of crew working on the movie. The Deadline piece reads, well, less like news than a release from the producers. After the small number among hundreds line, the report says the shutdown is expected to last approximately 5 days and is being done out of abundance of caution. When did we start doing that abundance of caution thing? It's like saying, we don't even have to be careful, but we're going to be anyway. That's how careful we are, even though we don't have to be. Big or small, you've got COVID-19 turning up to your production. This is less like abundance of caution and more like caution. Get well soon, everybody. And finally today, another of those least rare, most rare things is going up for auction. Apple Insider has word of a lot of Apple stuff hitting the block, including a working Apple One. I make fun of the frequency with which these rare machines go up for sale. That said, there is some cool stuff in this lot. Among the items, an Apple II manual signed by Stephen Jobs, the leather bomber jacket Jobs was wearing in that picture when he gave IBM the finger, a Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak issue of Macworld #1, an Altair 8800, an early Apple II, an Apple Lisa, and of course that working Apple One, complete with the original operating manual and hardware suite. Run through RR Auction. This auction begins on Thursday, the 12th of August. Bidding closes on the 19th of August. Best of luck and happy buying. Coming up in a few minutes, Morgan Stanley analyst Katie Huberty asked an amazing question on Apple's June quarter earnings call. Has Apple done well despite the pandemic or because of it? That question piqued the interest of Let's Talk Apple host Bart Busschots. Hear us kick it around in a few minutes. Find the show and listen at macoscan.com or wherever you get podcasts. macOS Can, brought to you by me and sponsored by Upstart. Fair and fast personal loans. Learn more and check your rate at upstart.com/macOScan. This show is also supported by people like you, patrons through Patreon. Find out more and add your support at patreon.com/macOScan. Advertising handled by Backbeat Media. Online at backbeatmedia.com. You can reach me a couple of ways. info@macoscan.com or call 716-780-4080. Until next time, that is news from macOS Can. I'm Ken Ray.
Ciao.